Hello, welcome back today. Hope you're all doing well, and we're here with a couple of stories for you. So first, let's get with this feel-good one where apparently there is a report that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex were in Portugal for a romantic break after the Invictus Games. So according to an article, they say that the Duke and Duchess of Sussex enjoyed a, quote, mega secret 3-night break in Portugal after attending the Invictus Games in Germany, it has been claimed. The couple are said to have flown from Dusseldorf to Lisbon before traveling an hour south to the coastal town of Melillas. It is believed that they stayed with Prince Harry's cousin, Princess Eugenie, and her husband, Jack Brooksbank. And they say of Prince Harry's cousin and her husband that they now split their time between London and the Costa Terra Golf and Ocean Club in Melillas, where Mr. Brooksbank works in marketing and sales at the resort in the Alentejo region. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have remained close to Princess Eugenie and her husband, who have visited them at their home in Montecito, California. So the Portuguese magazine Nova Gente said the couple had flown to Portugal after the Invictus Games finished on September the 16th in a, quote, mega secret operation, end quote. Meghan and Harry prefer not to publicize this romantic getaway either through press or through their social networks, it said. The magazine went on to say, quote, they arrived in Portugal without their children, and as soon as they landed, they headed to Alentejo, and more precisely to Melillas. The choice of this location would have been related to a possible invitation from Harry's cousin, Princess Eugenie, who since the start of last year has been spending a lot of time in this part of Alentejo because of her husband's work, end quote. So the article also goes on to say that the Sussexes are said to have left Portugal on September the 20th on a BA flight to Heathrow, where they boarded an onward flight to Los Angeles to be reunited with their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet, who are 4 and 2 respectively, who, as we know, remained in California. So Nova Gente said, quote, that morning they left for London from Lisbon, Humberto Delgado Airport on a British Airways flight, end quote. They were accompanied by 2 bodyguards, and they were the last to board the BA flight at 11 a.m. bound for London's Heathrow Airport. And they went on to elaborate that the couple reached the plane in a white van carrying them and their bodyguards, and witnesses quoted by the magazine said the couple had boarded, quote, smiling slightly. So this story has a lot of detail. They also quoted people who apparently saw them there, and the magazine said about the Duchess that she was dressed in all black. One even commented that perhaps she may have looked tired and her hair was tied up in a ponytail. Well, even if who could dispute the fact that they had quite a busy week, so I'm sure they needed some time to just relax. And they also went on to say in more detail that Meghan wore a 3/4 length sleeve dress, flat shoes, and discreet makeup, in quotes. And Prince Harry opted for a t-shirt, which was a color between green and blue, jeans, and trainers, end quote. So according to Moore, they confirmed that the Sussexes recently stayed in Melillas, saying that the reports coming out of Portugal are accurate. So the magazine Nova Gente said that they had not been able to establish if Princess Eugenie had been in the country at the same time as the Sussexes. The Costa Terra Golf and Ocean Club is a 700-acre residential community owned by a company founded by Mike Meldman, one of George Clooney's business partners in tequila firm Casamigos. And Jack previously worked as a brand ambassador for Casamigos, and in May it was revealed that he and Princess Eugenie, who have 2 sons, August and Ernest, would be dividing their time between Portugal and the UK after Mr. Brooksbank took up his new job. So yes, without going into more and more detail, share with me your thoughts on this story. Do you think it's true or not? And it is fascinating, quite quite captivating to see that this story has been put forward as them having a romantic getaway of sorts after the Invictus Games. So we tend to ask ourselves the question, because even today I saw an article which was emphatic in saying that Prince Harry and Meghan were headed for divorce. So it seems that some of these outlets can't keep their stories straight, because some of the same outlets that were saying, all of those separation and divorce rumors quickly picked up on this one. So I want to know your thoughts. And of course, as I said before, who could fault them for just taking some time to have some R&R after that full-on week that they had, where they had to be on at all times, in good spirits and, cheering on the Invictus Games competitors, getting time to chat with their families and, just making sure that everything was moving along. And I'm sure it demanded a lot from the couple. And if so, then fantastic choice. And I love the fact that it was all kept on the DL. No pictures of them there. It's just this Portuguese newspaper magazine saying that, in fact, they had spent time there and they believe that they stayed with Prince Harry's cousin and her husband. So share your thoughts on story number 1 in the comment section below. So this is a very quick add-on. As we know, Meghan has been quite the target of negativity from segments of the press, and specifically talking about the UK press, where we've had some of the tabloids there just going in on her in story after story. We know this. I mean, there have been examples over and over again. And, one of the people who have been spearheading the campaign of negativity against her, Dan Wootton, it turns out today that he has been suspended from GB News following comments made on his show by Lawrence Fox, with some negative comments against a certain reporter named Ava Evans. Of course, I think a few of you have seen the clips going around where, they really spoke about her in such a despicable way. And in turn, that has just snowballed, yeah? Yes, what a snowball, from his guest, Lawrence Fox, making a comment, a number of misogynistic and offensive remarks about a fellow journalist that sparked immediate outrage. And then on Thursday afternoon, Ofcom confirmed that they launched an investigation into the broadcast after roughly 7,300 complaints were made to the regulator. And Wootton tried to apologize and distance himself from Fox, and the story just goes on and on. But now a spokesperson for DMG Media, the parent company of Mail Online, said, quote, "Following events this week, DMG Media can confirm that Dan Wootton's freelance column with the Mail Online, which had already been paused, has now been terminated along with his contract," end quote. So isn't that a cautionary tale on, what someone puts out there? People tend to just want to minimize the effect of words and saying that they're meaningless, but you see what has ended up happening. And I think a lot of you have pointed out the fact that Dan Wootton has gone after Meghan so relentlessly, and it took this comment made by Lawrence Fox about Ava to kind of put a spotlight on what was happening on that corner. And I think it does make people ask, how is it that Meghan underwent years upon years of relentless, negativity from not only Dan, but other segments of the press? We've also seen the stories about Jeremy Clarkson and what happened with his comments on Meghan, on his article that he wrote, more offensive, despicable comments on her. And then, here we have Dan Wootton. And finally, now people say it's enough. But why, I ask, wasn't it enough when we've seen someone like, for example, for Meghan and Prince Harry as well, going through a relentless, unacceptable treatment by the British press? And we all hear those things that are coined about, being nice and all that, practice kindness and all that. But where is that in practicality towards the Duchess of Sussex, to be very specific, and also Prince Harry? We've seen how people talk about them, and in some instances you can see that they have been commoditized, and the lack of compassion, I think, is just so startling as well. So it took, what happened with Ava to, I think, wake some people up. But I would ask them just to go a step forward and extend some of that compassion towards what Meghan has gone through. It has just been a cascade of relentless hate against her for no reason. And I think it just needs to be addressed. Whatever is going on over there, especially with some of those tabloids who just keep on going after Meghan, I think they all need to be held to account. So share your thoughts on story number 2 in the comment section below. Before we log off, as always, a very special thank you to all who support this channel financially, to all my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters. I'd like to give a very heartfelt thank you and shout out a couple of you here by name. A very special thank you to you. Verbena New Year, I want to appreciate you for your kindness and for how long you have been with me on this YouTube journey. God bless you. You mean so much to me. Thank you. And a very special thank you to Anna Thorne, who has been one of the very first supporters of this channel here through Patreon. I appreciate you. You are so kind, so generous, and I value you. Thank you for your loving support. Thank you so much. And also thank you for being one of the channel moderators here. God bless. And thank you as well. You go by the handle Bunny. I feel so blessed to know you, and I want to thank you for how you've been so supportive. Such a tremendous boost to my work here. God bless you. I love you. Once again, share your thoughts on all these stories below. I would love to know your thoughts. And if you want to watch more videos, click the links in the cards and at the end screens. And also follow this channel on Twitter or X. Let's grow over there too. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.